I'd like to thank the host and the cooks for inviting me to this dinner, but first I would like to bring up a couple points that I saw. People have a tendency to not think before they speak. I've already seen 3 examples of this during this dinner, and I would like to show them to you. The first one is where they just tell a joke really, really bad. Like from Finding Nemo, where Marlin completely messes up the joke and everybody hates it. I saw Harry over here, and he was telling a joke. It was very similar to Marlin's. He said, I'll tell as he did. So there was a mollusk and a sea cucumber, and the mollusk went up to, well, he didn't really walk. He more rolled or floundered his way over the sand. And then as he went over, he said, well, they can't talk. It's just a joke, so everybody talks. Just go along with it. And then, so he went up to, well, okay, let me start over. So there was a mollusk and a sea cucumber, and they were right next to each other, because neither of them could move. And they were going to talk to each other in a way that they talk, more like vibrations through the water. Oh, go away. So they were at a bar. This mollusk and a sea cucumber sitting next to each other. Well, they don't drink. It's more of a filter feeding through the water and getting little plankton bits out of it, but you know what I mean. And as he was telling this joke, people's faces fell from being excited, because he usually tells pretty good jokes. And as he told it, their faces went from excited to being completely zoned out, and eventually they were just talking amongst themselves. And when he turned back to tell the punchline, which is, with fronds like these, who needs an enemies, which isn't even a very good punchline, then nobody was even there, and he was like, where'd they all go? And another thing that you can mess up on is by walking up into a conversation when you think you know the topic, and then giving your little 5 cents, and it's not what they're talking about. For example, Bill over here was walking into a group of his friends, and they were talking, and he came up and he heard, yeah, he was feeling very good this morning. He kind of got out of bed very slow, and then he laid back down. He kind of coughed up a hairball earlier. It wasn't great. And so, assuming that it wasn't the guy talking, because that would be very dangerous, having him at the party that morning, then he assumed it was his brother. So he said, you know, coughing up a hairball as a human is probably not the best thing. Does he have a fever? Is he contagious? I don't want to catch this horrible cold. Is it a strain of H1N1? What is this? And he said, well, that's his cat. And so everybody was looking at him as if he was crazy, and he just walked away. Another thing is being way too brutally honest. Now, honesty, you may think, is a good thing most of the time. If your friend walks in with a hat, and they don't usually wear hats, you would say, why are you wearing a hat? And they say, well, I had a bad hair day today, and I had a haircut this morning, and it doesn't really look that great on me. And so you say, hey, can I see it? And they won't tell anybody. And they say no when you rip off their hat so you can see it. And then, so you just go into this rant. Oh yeah, it looks horrible. I feel so sorry for you. Your bangs are crooked. It's just a straight line slashing across your face. The back of your head is completely uneven. There's not even any layering. It's just a flat bowl cut. And you're a girl. Why would you have a bowl cut? Then the dyeing in the back it's brown. Your hair's brown. Why would you dye your hair browner than it is? It's already brown. There's also pigtails sticking out at random angles, and then you're wearing a hat, so it kind of smooshed them. That's not really looking very good. And then there's clips and everything. You look like a 2-year-old. Then they kind of turned around and walked away. It was very sad and very depressing. But if you do any of these things, you tend to hurt people's feelings or make them look bad, completely humiliate yourself, or just look really stupid. And when you do this, it's not a good thing. It's called foot and mouth syndrome. It's sweeping the nation. It's kind of, you don't want it. If you think before you speak, you can avoid this horrible disease, and then you can just live a normal life and be a little bit better than everybody else in your own way. So I like to raise a toast to those who are eternally sucking on their toes.